Thanks for coming today. I'm gonna roll the shoulders back and down. Loosen up the neck. Inhale, take a big sun breath in. Exhale. Breathing in and exhaling out. One last time. Inhale, lifting up. And then the hands come down. We'll forward fold. Trace the hands down the legs and just relax to the front. You can sway side to side and have a little bend in the knees. This is called a ragdoll. Now you can also bring the hands to the center and just draw little circles on the floor with your fingertips. And then reverse the direction of the circle. Coming to the center, we'll slowly roll up. Now remember today to go at your own pace, do what's best for your body. Every body is different, so everybody will be different in their poses. We release comparison. Bend the knees and scoop forward. We'll reach to the sun for our sun salutation. Hands come out and down to the ground. You can trace your hands down the legs or just swan dive forward, letting the fingertips touch. Step back to a push-up plank position. You can be on your knees or your toes. Choose what's best for you. And slowly lower down. Look forward to a cobra upward dog. Shoulders push back the way, nice soft neck. Elbows can be bent or straight. And then dig the toes into the mat. Hips lift up and back. Shoulders drop. Now you're pulling that belly button in and up. As the hips push to the back wall, we're stretching under the arm, stretching the back of the leg. You can also be on your knees in what's called a puppy dog. So it's a full downward dog on the toes or the knees, the puppy dog. We're going to walk the dog if you would like, bending one knee, then the other. It's like bicycling the feet. And then slowly walk your feet in towards your hands. And we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders roll back and down. Loosen up any tension in the neck. Bend the knees and scoop forward again, warming the body with our sun salutation. Hands coming out and down, fingertips to the ground. Step back with one foot, then the other to a push-up plank. Stretching long. You can be on your toes, you can be on your knees. Lengthening out through the crown of the head, a nice straight spine. And then lower down. You can hover over the mat or relax down. We're going to look forward to a cobra or upward dog. Nice soft neck. Toes dig into the mat. Hips lift up and back. Shoulders drop. We breathe in through the nose. Out through the nose. The downward dog or the puppy dog on the knees. Then we'll walk the dog here, bending one knee, then the other. If you're on your knees, we're going to bring one foot forward and get ready to stand back up. Walk the hands up the legs, roll up one vertebrae at a time as we come to a standing position. Shoulders will roll back and down, shaking the head yes. Adjusting our feet, hands will go out and up towards the sky. We're going to lean to the left. And hands can be together or apart. This is our crescent moon. Still creating that heat in the body with the hands over the heart. Hands together apart. But eventually, the left hand will drop down. Right palm turns up, elbow pulls back. We look up to see the sun. Breathing in and exhaling out. And gently place the hand on the head. The weight of that right hand stretches the neck. Left palm turns out. We'll wiggle the fingers, warming up the body. And then rotate the arm, loosening up the shoulder, deltoid muscle. And with each rotation, we'll go a little bit higher to the sky. Hands come together and down, heart center. Feel pressure with the palms, shoulders relaxing down. A nice soft neck. Take a big breath in, expand the rib cage out to the side. And then exhale, melt forward just a little bit, pushing out all the air from the lungs, the diaphragm. Inhale, expanding. And exhale, emptying, empty, 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 empty. Another deep breath in. Just relaxing down and forward. We're going to adjust your feet. There might be tension building, and lift the hands towards the sky for our crescent moon on the other side, leaning over to the right, left heel pushing into the mat, left hip pushing out. Hands can be together or apart. Gently lower down that right hand. Left palm turns up. Elbow pulls back. We look up, see the sun. Top hand might be creating a little shadow so the sun's not in our eye. Feeling the opening of the heart, the opening of the rib cage, the chest. And then gently stand tall, place the hand on the head. Stretching the neck, right hand turns out, wiggling the fingers. And then rotating the arm. We'll slowly lift up. This time lifting the roof off the building. Palm of the hands push towards the sky. We feel as if we lift the rib cage off the hip. Standing nice and tall, breathing in and exhaling out. So we hold poses in yoga, but not the breath. Always continue the breathing. Nice deep. Exhale out and down. Walk in place, grab some water if you need. It is our year of hydration, so I'm going to remind you every class to drink water. Trying to be a good example. Shoulders roll back and down. We're going to bring the left leg straight back behind you. Front knee is bent. Lift up the heel a couple times. And then as that front knee bends, we're going to cross our hands down. Inhale, lifting up. It's called the Princess in the Valley, and then she goes up to the mountain. Breathing in, warming the body, loosening up the joints, increasing blood flow. Exhale out. Breathing in, opening the rib cage. And exhaling. Looks like a big backstroke in the water. One last time. And hold here. We're going to reverse, coming back down. So the princess is in the mountain, coming to the valley. Breathing in and exhaling. One last time. And as we come forward, we're going to place our hands on the knee. Really dig that back heel into the mat. And we're going to go into what's called a bowing warrior. We're going to lean forward just a little bit more. I'll relax one hand, let the arm loosen up. Maybe relax both hands and look down at your right big toe. Now you can keep both hands on the knee if that's more comfortable for your body. Now we're going to place our hands back on the knee and shift the weight forward and back. Really dig the back heel into the mat, and then we're going to slide your hip to the back wall. So we're trying to flatten out the back, get a nice straight spine, hands on the knee, tuck the chin in and push the crown of the head forward. And then if you would like, add on, bringing one hand back behind you or maybe both hands. The shoulders push away from the ear. It helps to extend the spine a little bit more. Maybe even raise the eyebrows as the chin tucks in. Now it's a tabletop, like you could place your water bottle on your back and it would sit steady. And then lower the hands down. Place one hand or both hands on the knee, or you can have one or both hands forward as we slowly lift up, tightening around the center of the body, the core, the standing position, or warrior one. Now you can always have the hands on the knee. We're going to take one last deep breath in here. Hands come down and forward, rock back and forth, lift up the front toe a couple times, and then step all the way to the front, walking in place. Loosening up the shoulders. We'll do that again on the other side, bringing the right leg straight back, like you're on a railroad track, one foot on each line. Now, kind of rock forward and back just a little bit, and then move forward, cross the arms, lift up. Breathing in and exhaling out. So the princess is in the valley, traveling up the mountain. Exhaling, breathing in, smelling the fresh mountain air. One more time. And we'll hold at the top of the mountain. The princess is in the mountain. Forward fold. Coming down the mountain. Big breath in. Exhaling out and down. Digging the toes, the heels into the mat. One last time, and we'll hold down and forward. Placing our hands on that front knee. Really push the back heel into the mat. Getting nice and steady, and then we'll let one hand hang. Maybe loosen up the shoulder in our bowing warrior. It's warrior one. It has a forward fold. You might have both hands hanging. Getting any tension out of the arms before we stretch. Place both hands on the knee. Shift your weight forward and back, and then I want you to really push the hip to the back wall. Maybe pull in the belly button towards the spine, or sucking in the stomach. We just changed our hips. Both heels are pushing into the mat. So flatten out the spine, almost lean forward a little bit more. Nice tabletop with the back, and then if you would like, reach back with one hand or both hands to the back wall. We're going to think of pushing the shoulders away from the ears, chin tucks in, eyes are looking down at the ground. Crown of the head pushing forward, maybe even raise the eyebrows. Really extend, strengthening the front knee and ankle, stretching down that back right calf. Bowing warrior one. One last big deep breath in. Exhale, let the hands relax. They might come to the knee or they might come forward. We're going to tighten around the center of the body, around the rib cage. Push with the heels as we gently stand back up. Holding in the warrior one for a moment. Big breath in. And then the hands come out and down to the front knee. We're going to rock back and forth, lifting up the front toe, and then we're going to open up to the side of the room, turning your toes out to the side. Bend and straighten the knees. Bring up and down a couple times. Now from here, we're actually going to dig in the garden. Hands come down. And we lift up the dirt, preparing to plant some flowers today. Inhaling, lifting, letting that dirt all through the fingers. Breathing in. Exhaling out. One more time. We're going to hold at the top. We're going to plant our tree. Get down into the deep hole we just dug. Now it might be a little hole. It might be just a little flower that we're planting. You choose what's best for your body. One last time. Bring it down. And we'll come right back up the center. Hands will come high and together. Now you can have this top spire of the temple as the hips drop down, or you can bring your hands heart center to be a prayer inside the temple today. We breathe in. Some people might lift one heel or both heels over the columns outside the temple. But they might be down on the ground, always doing what's best for your body. We'll take one last deep breath in and slowly lift. Release the hands out and down. Turn one toe forward, then the other. You can walk the feet in a little bit if you'd like, but we're going to forward fold, placing the hands on the hips or the upper thigh. Pushing the hips back, tracing the hands down the leg. Shake your head, yes. Loosening up the neck. Now, hands can be anywhere on the feet, the floor. You can reach through the legs, back behind you. Hands can just be on the legs. Shake your head no if you haven't already. And then shake your head yes. We're just letting gravity melt our body downward to create a little bit of space between the vertebrae here. And then when you're ready, slowly roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Maybe walk the hands up the legs. Shoulders lift up, back and down. And then gently turn the left toe forward. We're going to bend the left knee. Bend and straighten. Inhale, lifting up halfway. I'm going to actually have you bend your right arm as if you're lifting or pulling back on a bow and arrow. Now that front left fingertip, it might lift up. It might be the hand, the finger. It's your focal point because we're going to look over that left shoulder to see where we're shooting the bow and arrow. So you really feel that shoulder pull back and open. Shooting our arrow in our warrior two, we're going to inhale, lifting up. Getting ready to release. Exhale, let the right hand drop down. Arrow shoots, might begin to fly. Release any tension in the hand. As the arrow flies through the sky, you might rotate the arm, feeling the wind and the arrow. A reverse warrior two here. Feeling that pull from the hip through the fingertip as the arrow pushes higher to the sky. And then we'll exhale, let the arrow come back down, straighten the front left knee, going right into a triangle pose. The arrow is going to land anywhere on the leg. You can look down at the ground, the side of the room, or up to the sky. Right hand can be high to the sky. It might be on the hip, might be over the head, or even with the hand touching the shoulder. Now, eventually, we will bend the elbow on the right arm, pull back with the shoulder. We're getting ready to reload the bow, grabbing the arrow from the ground. And then when you're ready, push with your toes, tighten around the rib cage, and lift that arrow off the ground. We're going to let it release and set everything back down. Bend and straighten the knee. Turn your toes forward. Walk your feet in just a little bit, and we'll walk your hands down to the knees, shifting the weight side to side, loosening up any tension in the legs, the hips. Shift your weight over to the left. Tap your right toe. Toe lifts up and down a couple times. Listening to your body, looking for the stretch that's needed, and then hold the toe. It might be up, it might be down. It's where you need the stretch today. Now your hands can be one on each leg. You can have your hands on the floor. You might both be on the same leg. Whatever is best for your body today. We hold. You can think of pulling the belly button to the spine, pushing the hips back. We'll take one last deep breath in and come back to the center. Lift the head up just a little bit and shift the weight side to side. Now, if you tend to get a little bit dizzy, I would like you to keep your head above waistline or above the heart the whole time. Let's shift over to the right. Tap that left toe. It lifts up and down a couple times. And then hold with the toe either up or down. You get to choose what's best for your body. We hold, belly button pulls in, hips push back a little bit. Hands can be one on each leg. You're going to have a hand on the floor. You have both hands on the same leg. It might be the straight leg or the bent leg. It does not matter. Always self-adjusting. We do different activities throughout the week, so you tend to need a little bit of a different stretch. Why yoga is for you, so you decide. Then we'll come back to the center, one hand on each leg, and then slowly roll up. Just relax the head, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. The shoulders will lift up to the ears, push back and down, and we're going to go into our penguin pose, which means we shift our weight side to side. Penguins are a little wobbly, a little wiggly. You can move the wrists, the fingers, the toes, the ankles, getting any tension off the body, and then we'll turn the right toe out, bend the right knee. We're going into that warrior two stance. Bring the knee back, and when you look down, you see that big toe on the inside, so you really feel the inner thigh opening, stretching around the knee and the hip. Let's relax the shoulders down as the hands come up. Dig the toes into the mat, drop the heels down, and we're going to bend left elbow. Pulling back, load our bow and arrow. You might lift up that right finger or a focal point. Holding, filling the shoulders open in this warrior two. Our warrior is an archer today. We're going to take a big breath in and lift towards the sky, getting ready to shoot the arrow and release. When you're ready, exhale, drop the left hand down. Now you can wiggle the fingers, you can rotate the arm at the top as the arrow flies through the sky. Breathing in, exhaling, feel that stretch from the hip up through the fingertips, high to the sky. And then we'll slowly exhale down halfway, straightening the knee, and then go all the way down as the arrow flies down to the ground. Might be to the leg. Anywhere you choose to let that hand fall. You can look down at the ground, to the side of the room, or up to the sky. Left hand might be high to the sky. It might be on the hip. We go to our triangle pose. It might be over the head, or it might just be on the shoulder, getting ready to reload our bow and arrow. Now, in the triangle pose, we're creating triangles with the lines of our arms, our legs, our torso, points with the hips, the feet, head, the hand. One last deep breath in. We're going to load that arrow off the ground, lifting it up strong, tightening around the rib cage, pulling back on the shoulder. Extend out, and we'll put our arrow and our bow away. Turn your toes forward, walk your feet in. And that penguin pose we're going to use to rock side to side, getting any tension off the knees, the feet, and come to the front of the mat. And we're going to move on to our new pose for the month. It's going to be a rooster. Right. Now for our rooster today, I want you to just think of lifting one heel up in front and then placing it back down, and then lift the other heel up. Now that's mimicking lifting the knee off the ground, but you do not have to. We're going to sit back into the chair, belly button pulling in, hips pushing back, and squeeze the hands together. It's like we have 3 books. We're trying to hold that middle book from falling out. Shoulders pushing down. So you do have tension in the core, but soft neck. Shoulders pushed down, holding the weight of those books. So we sit into the chair. One last big breath in, and then lowering the hand down. So as you were sitting, you're digging your toes into the mat. Now we're going to lift the heel up, and one hand comes up, so this is the top of the rooster. Those are his combs. And then the other hand is the foot of the rooster. It has those webbed feet. And we're going to lower back down. This next time, I'm going to have you actually sit into your chair, slide your hands down the knees, and then lift the comb of the rooster up, foot of the rooster down. I'm going to do that again, changing, standing up in the middle, taking a deep breath in, and then exhale as we sit down into the chair, lifting up the comb of the rooster. Lowering down, stand up again. Now this time, if you'd like to lift a little higher, you can. You can bring the elbow towards the knee to the elbow. You have your foot down low that might be holding on or pushing onto the knee. Let's lower. Stand up right here in the middle. Take a deep breath in. Relax the shoulders. Now the foot of the rooster goes back down. We change sides. Yep, if you would like. Now, some people create tension with the elbow and the knee, or it can be high. You can be standing straight up. Just whatever feels best for your body, and then we'll lower back down. Slowly lift. Shoulders roll back and down. Shake your head yes. We'll take the hands out to the side, up to the sky to say goodbye to the sun. We'll lift the roof off the building. Take a big breath in. Exhale out. We're going to get ready to go to the earth as the hands come out and down. You can swan dive forward. You can trace your hands down your legs. We're just melting to the front. You can bring your hands to the back of the legs, bringing your torso a little closer. Some people fold their arms on the back of the knees. You can also just sway side to side, going back to that original ragdoll. Loosening up the spine, the back, swaying side to side. A ragdoll has no bones in its back, so if it's carried, it would sway to and fro. Come back to the center and draw little circles on the floor if you would like with your fingertips. Reverse the direction. And we're going to next go to all fours. Now, all fours might look what you choose to have it look like. Fingertips touch the mat, step back with one foot, then the other to the downward dog, which would be on the hands and the feet. It could also be the puppy dog on the knees and the hands. Or you might even choose the dolphin, coming onto the elbows and the toes. There's a lot of options, but eventually we will go to a child's pose, so anytime you can melt down. Or just shifting the weight, bringing fresh oxygen to the brain as gravity changes the blood flow. Belly button pulls in, hips push back. In all fours. We're going to come down to the knees. For our child's pose, we relax the feet, lower the head. Your head might touch the ground, it might not. Your hips can be high. They can push back towards the feet and the heels. Hands might be forward. They might be to the side or next to the feet, or any combination. We slow the heart rate, slow the breath. When you're ready, slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your head under like a cat that's scared upset. It kind of rounds and arches the back in our cat pose. Lower the hands down, push the hips back, shoulders push away from the ears. We look forward, bottom lip over the top lip, stretching the jawline. Exhale to the cat, tucking under, rounding the back. Inhale to the cow, a nice deep breath in, extension of the spine. Exhale to the cat, tucking under. Flexion of the spine. One last cow, looking forward. Shoulders away from the ears, stretching out. We'll come to a nice flat back, a flat tabletop. Left shoulder comes to the left hip. Right shoulder to the right hip. In a side cat, it's like wagging the tail of the cat, moving the hips side to side, scrunching up the waistline on one side while stretching the other. We'll come back to the center and lay down on the front of the mat. So as you lay down, you relax all the way forward, nice and slow. Extend out your right arm. We're digging the right fingertips into the mat. Support with the left hand. Lift up the rib cage and drop the right shoulder down. Look over to the left. And if you choose, we're going to rest the head down. Think of lifting your chin up before the ear touches the mat. Also, you can add on by stacking the hips. With that left hip on top of the right hip, the left foot might fall gently behind and touch the floor. But if that bothers your spine, please stay on your stomach, roll back onto the stomach. Just stretch around the shoulder and the chest. You do not have to add the spinal twist. The arm that's out to the side, that right arm, it can be closer to the leg. It's anywhere out to the side for the stretch you need for your body. Always self-adjusting. Last deep breath in. Exhale, relaxing. Extending both arms out if they're not already. We're going to support with the right hand, lift up the rib cage, drop the left shoulder. Now remember that left arm can be anywhere to the side. It might even be next to the leg. Lift up the chin and then set the left ear down. If you would like, stack the hips. With one hip on top of the other. Right foot might fall behind. You can extend out the right arm. It can be on the right hip, the hand touching the hip, or sometimes the hand falls behind. Whatever feels best for your body today, always self-adjusting. Stretching around the shoulder deltoid muscles and across the front of the chest, the pectoral muscles here. We'll roll back onto your stomach. Both arms extending for a prone cobra. Shoulders come off the mat. Now, fingertips might still be touching the mat if you need. Your toes can be up or down. Shoulders push away from the ears so there's a nice soft neck. Chin tucks in slightly. Our prone cobra, strengthening the center core of the body, strengthening the muscles around the spine. And then slowly bring your hands forward. Extending to the front, you can add a swimming motion. Your hands might be resting on the mat or they could be hovering over the mat. And eventually the hands come down. We'll drag the fingertips in, elbows pushing into the ground, chest pushing forward and through, sitting nice and tall in what we call the Sphinx, like the front of the Egyptian pyramid. Breathing in, exhaling out. Elbows pushing down. We're going to use this as the base pose for our bow, like a bow and arrow. I know you are already an archer, so you know what the bow and arrow looks like, but we're going to push the right hip into the mat. Now that may be all the stretch you need, and if you would like, you trace the hand down around the knee, holding onto the foot, the sock, the pant leg. You can be with the same hand, the opposite hand, no hands. Your head can be high or low. You can also use both hands and both feet. You've probably seen it before with both feet, but I'll give you time to stretch one side and then the other. If you want to get a really nice deep stretch today, listening to what your body needs. Say it's the most important stretch for your body that we're doing in this class. So try to do this throughout the day, holding onto a counter, a wall. You do it laying on your side, on your stomach. One last big breath in, and we'll come back and release the tension on the knee and change sides. So we bend the other knee. If you'd like, reach back, holding onto the foot, the sock, the pant leg. It'd be the same hand, the opposite hand, both hands, no hands. The whole point is to shift the weight, push it into that hip. So you really feel the stretch coming all the way down the body, especially from that knee to that hip, the quadricep muscle. Now, always listen to what you need. If you have the opposite hand, you're stretching the outer two muscles. If you have the same hand, it's the inner two thigh muscles on the front of the leg. Both hands, hitting all four quadriceps. We're going to take one last big breath in. Slowly release, bend and straighten the knee. And we'll bend both legs. Let the legs sway side to side in a pendulum or windshield wiper. kind of massaging out the quadriceps we were stretching. Lower the feet down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders for a wide angle forward fold or a child's pose, taking the knees out to the side to the edges of the mat. Push the hips back. Now it's wherever it feels comfortable for your knees. It can be farther in or out. If the hands are forward, it's called a wide angle child's pose, but you can also turn it into a frog, bringing the elbows towards the knees. Your head can rest down on the mat. However it's comfortable, it might be with the head turned to one side or the other. Hips will be a little bit higher than normal here with the knees out to the side. Let's place your hands underneath your shoulders. When you're ready, we'll lift the head up, bring the knees in, adjust, lifting one knee then the other, so they're directly underneath your hips. Now today we're going into our twisted table, so we're going to support with the left hand, right hand goes out to the side. Threading the eye of the needle, the right hand comes through the space between the knee and the arm. Now it does not matter where it's at, it might be closer to the hand or closer to the knee, but we're sliding through, creating a little tension on the floor called sawing in yoga, if you create that tension against the floor and the hand. But we're threading the eye of the needle, it comes through the space. You might have tension just at the hand, it might be at the elbow, it might be down at the shoulder if you lean in a little bit more. But be gentle with the body, adjust for your body's needs. If you would like, you can rest the head on the mat. They slide through. So it was a tabletop, but it's a twisted table because one of the legs was bent, kind of tucked underneath. Now we're going to slowly unthread the needle. Prepare for the other side by pushing the right hand into the mat, left hand goes out to the side, comes through, thread the needle, saw against the floor, create that tension with the hand. Might be with the elbow, the arm, the shoulder. You can even rest the head on the mat. Whatever you need. Now adjust if you would like to have the hand towards the knee or the hand towards the front of the room. It changes the stretch a little bit in the upper back. One last deep breath in. Exhale out. We're going to unthread the needle, placing one hand under each shoulder and then coming onto the elbows. Now today we're going to have a child's prayer, bringing the hands together in a prayer pose, walking the elbows as far as they'll go out in front, and then shifting the weight back with the hips. Toes might be digging into the mat, or the toes might be flat, they might be curled, whatever feels best on your feet. So as we shift the weight back, the shoulders drop down, the hands come behind the head. We have that child's prayer, so it's a child's pose with prayer hands. Let's lower the hands down, place them underneath the shoulders. Lifting the head up, we'll lean to the side and bring the feet around to the front of the mat. Now you can always grab water as you do so. I'm going to shake the tension out of the legs here. Roll the shoulders back and down, loosen up the neck. Now we're going to stretch around the biceps and the shoulders just a little bit more, walking the hands back behind you. Called a giraffe pose. As we walk back, we're going to adjust the hand wherever it feels comfortable so that we can open up the shoulders and the chest. The chin's kind of in a neutral position. And we'll lift up one leg and draw a little circle. That circle might be at the foot, the ankle. You can wiggle the toes. Circle might be at the hip. And then reverse the direction of the circle. Might be moving the ankle the other way, moving the hip the other way. Warming up the body using the core, center of the body. Also moving the hips. Let's bring the leg down. Adjust the hands if you need. Walk the giraffe legs back. And then lift up the other leg. Draw a little circle. Might be a circle hip. Breathing in and exhale. And reverse the direction, going the other way. And then we'll hold, and the leg comes down. Walk the hands in, rocking side to side, sitting nice and tall. And we'll bend the left knee. Cross the foot over if you would like, or leave it right next to the straight leg. Right hand will come to the front, left hand comes behind your back. Turning the torso, the shoulders, the neck. That spinal twist sitting down to help the digestive process. Helps the alignment of the spine. Untwist, coming forward to cradle the baby and rock it side to side. Loosening up any tension you might have in the hip. Now you can also use that front leg to cradle and rock the baby. You want to give the arms a rest. You can also have that cradling really close by, as far out as you feel comfortable. Place this foot on the floor, adjusting. We'll do a lot of rocking with the hips to stretch the hamstring. Walk the hands forward, rocking side to side as you do so. And then we'll walk the hands to the straight right leg. Point and flex that right foot a couple times, and then hold, bringing the left hand on the right leg. Right hand comes back behind you and we look to the back wall, or you can look down at the hip. Whatever's best for your body today. Slowly come back forward. Hands come to the center and we'll rock side to side, lifting up. Take the bent knee and extend it. Massage the knee if you need, without any tension. And we're going to change sides. So we'll bend the right knee. Cross the foot over if you'd like, or leave it right next door. Left hand comes to the front, right hand behind your back, turning the torso, the shoulders, the neck. That spinal twist sitting down. Creating tension with the arm and the leg, however you feel comfortable. It might be the elbow, might be giving the knee a hug. And then we'll come back forward, untwisting, placing one hand on the knee, one hand on the foot, cradling the baby and rocking it side to side, however it feels comfortable. Eventually, the foot will come down to the ground, adjusting the hips. We'll walk your hands forward, rocking side to side every once in a while. And then walk both hands over to the left side, point and flex the left foot. So you really feel that stretch behind the knee, and keep the right hand forward, left hand comes back behind you, and we look to the back wall. Reverse triangle sitting down today. The right knee is bent. If it's ever uncomfortable, you can leave the leg out. Always listen to what your body needs. Be gentle with the knees. Slowly walk back forward. the center, and then straight back up to sit up tall. Extend out the legs, shake out any tension you might have, point and flex the feet. Shoulders roll back and down. We're going to do one butterfly today. Now you can relax forward, closing your eyes in your butterfly. You're welcome to add on. Hold right here, just close your eyes and don't look at anyone else. You're adding on. You might have lifted the feet off of the mat. Bring it into your flower. You might have the knees in the center and the boat. Cobbler pose. Butterfly. We relax, slowing the breath in the butterfly. Exhale out. Place your hands on your knees. Bring the knees to the center. And we'll roll like a ball onto our back. Now you can just lean to the side to come onto your back, or you can roll straight back, rocking back and forth a couple times, rolling like a ball. Hands anywhere on the legs that it feels okay for your body. And eventually we'll be all the way on our back with our hands on our knees, the knees towards the chest. Draw a little circular motion, loosening up the back. Massaging the lower spine right between the hip bones, and then reverse the direction, going the other way. Keeping everything supple, loose, and strong. Bring the knees back to the center and place the feet on the floor for a bridge pose. We lift up the hips, trying to create that straight line from the knees to the shoulders. We tighten the glutes as the hips lift up. Dig the toes and heels into the mat. You can tuck your shoulders underneath your body. Hands can just relax to the side, or some people hold on to their feet or lace their fingers underneath their body. There's a lot of options in your bridge pose. Stretching out the front of the hips while strengthening the knees and the ankles. This is an inversion, so it changes the blood flow. Gravity shifts everything down. So we're getting fresh oxygen to the brain. And then gravity has created some space between the organs here. Everything changing places. Lift up the heels so we're on our toes. If your hands are underneath your body, they come to the side. We'll take a deep breath in. And from the shoulders, we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. And the tailbone will be the last thing to touch the floor. The knees sway side to side, loosening up any tension you might have in the hip. Allow the legs to fall to the right. That's called a low spinal twist. You're welcome to place the right foot on top of the left knee if you would like, or keep it on the floor. We're going to push the left hip towards the sky, trying to lengthen out the front of the hip, and then drop the hip back down. So you feel that stretch come from the knee to the shoulder, all the way up the side of the body. Realigning with the rib cage. Last deep breath in. We'll exhale out. Bring the knees to the center and let them fall to the other side. Now, if you'd like, you can place that left foot on top of the right knee or keep the left foot on the floor. We're going to think of pushing the right hip up to the sky, kind of tightening the glute on that right side, and then lowering it back down. And relaxing into the stretch, we realign the body. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Bring the knees back to the center. If the foot's on top, it comes to the ground. And the knees come into the chest. Give the knees a little squeeze, and we'll rock side to side, massaging the back, trying to flatten out the natural lordotic curve on the lower spine. Open your arms like a letter T at the top of the mat and allow both legs to fall to the right. You can extend out one leg or both legs, whatever feels best for your body. This is our full spinal twist lying down. Close your eyes here. Try to relax into the stretch. Taking deep breaths in through the nose. And exhaling, relaxing, melting into the ground. Slowly bring the knees back to the center, rock side to side. Allow the legs to fall to the left as we look to the right. You can extend out one leg or both legs, whatever feels best for the body today. And the full spinal twist lying down. Taking deep breaths in through the nose. Closing the eye. Exhaling out, relaxing, melting into the ground. Slowly bring the knees back to the center and lengthen the legs towards the sky, preparing for our joyful, happy baby. Hands can be anywhere on the legs, the feet, yogi toe grip with middle finger and thumb around the big toe if you would like. And allow the legs to fall to the side. Knees can be bent or straight, it does not matter. In our joyful, happy baby, you can rock the baby side to side. We're going to think of lengthening the spine to the front of the room and creating a bowl with the body. To create the bowl, we hollow out the stomach by pushing the belly button down to the ground, and then wrap the tailbone around and up to the sky. And our joyful, happy baby. We'll take one last deep breath in. Bring the legs back to the center, bend the knees, give them a little squeeze, a gentle hug. Place your feet on the floor. Lengthen your toes through the front of the room. Fingertips to the back room, stretching, growing a little bit longer, a little bit taller. And then we'll bring the arms down next to the legs. Roll your shoulders back and down. Flex the feet, make a fist with the hands, and tighten all the muscles in the body. Tighten, tighten, squeeze. And then release. Feeling the difference of the relaxed body. Now, this is called the corpse pose. We're going to lay here for the next few moments, closing the eyes, clearing the mind, and letting the body be at peace.
Keeping your eyes closed, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll over onto your right side for another moment of rest. When you're ready, open your eyes. Walk yourself up to an easy sit position. Legs can be crossed or straight or anywhere in between as we sit up. And we'll draw a little circular motion, loosening up the back, awakening the spine. And reverse the direction, going the other way. And we'll come to the center and lift the shoulders to the ears. Push back and exhale down. Loosening up the neck, realigning the rib cage. The hands fall to the sides. Inhale up to the sky. Down heart center. Little pressure with the palms, shoulders relax. And we reverse the direction to stretch the back of the wrist. We'll shake the head yes. Shake your head no. And shake your head yes again. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale out. Releasing toxins. Inhale for the body. Inhale for the mind. Inhale for the spirit. Your hands, heart center, and namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Try to stay warm these cool winter days and nights.